Really? So you can listen to my video. It's not like I'm popular or anything. I do them on YouTube and I get like literally 0 views. Like nobody watches my YouTube, but I have to share them to Facebook so people will see them. Anyways, I'm doing like a really early morning video. Can you tell? I still have my pajamas on and I'm looking like crap. I haven't showered yet. I haven't did anything. I have a whole bunch to do today, so I probably won't make it to do a video. And I didn't get to do one last night because, of course, my person, I'm just going to call him my person from now on. My person was, I feel like you guys can smell my breath, but you can't. I don't know why I'm, like, not talking right. Would sit in here and wanted to listen to my video, and I don't like that. I don't like my person sitting here listening to everything I say like that. Like, he's going to be back here in a second because he took the kids to school. And he is going to basically sit here. And he's going to... Hold on, I gotta tell somebody. I don't know if you guys can still hear me or not. So, anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about. I'm just going to read, like, we're going to start off with a story today about, how ironic, about divorce. Iniquity from Africa and Asia. It says, before there can be a formal dissolution of marriage, there has to be an official marriage. So if it's not official, if you don't officially get married, you can't really officially get divorced, right? I'm sorry, I'm getting sick. The earliest extant marriage certificate was found among Aramaic papyri, I don't know if I'm saying this stuff right, relics of a Jewish garrison stationed at Elephantine in Egypt in the 5th century BC. Dang, this is forever ago. The contract is a conscious, unadorned, unromantic bill of sale. So you get 6 cows in exchange for a healthy 14-year-old girl. No thank you. I don't think I'm going to trade you 6 cows and my 14-year-old girl. Who the fuck do you think you are? Crazy ass people. Okay. So under the Romans, who were great legal scholars, the marriage certificate mushroomed into a complex, multi-page document of legalists. It rigidly stated such terms as the conditions of the dowry and the division of property upon divorce or death. Doesn't that kind of sound like what our stuff is? Sorry, I keep getting text.
Who do you keep on getting text from?
People. Sorry, I keep getting, like, my phone blows up, like, all hours of the day. I hate it. Just depending on who it's from. Like, if it's just, like, random people, like, bill collectors, oh, it drives me up the wall. And I'm sorry, I look, like, really poofy today, don't I? Look at this. A revised, okay. In the 1st century AD, what does AD even mean? Like, what does that even mean? After something, like after a denomination, is that what that is? Because I know BC is before Christ. So, we're going to do, I don't know what it means. It's after something, though, I think. A revised marriage certificate was officially introduced among the Hebrews, which is still used today with only minor altercations. See, that's what I said. It sounds like when they were talking about it, it sounds like the one that we, like what we do today. The marriage certificate, the divorce, whatever. It sounds like all the stuff that we do today. So, and I'm going to, I just like to make my videos kind of long, and like, I just like you guys to have a little bit of inspiration. Here's a good one on my thing. Fools and liars. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. today's going to be one of those days where everything hits me. Like, everything I read is going to be, like, something pertaining to me. Watch. It's going to be crazy. So, divorce 2 began as a simple, somewhat informal procedure. In early Athens and Rome, legal grounds for the dissolution of a marriage were unheard of. A man could divorce his wife whenever like turned to dislike. And though he needed to obtain a bill of divorce from a local magistrate, there are no records of one ever having been denied. So, let's see. They're saying what? That there was no divorce ever turned down for any reason? So they just let these dudes be like, hey, I don't want to be with her no more. I want to be with her, and then I don't want to be with her, and then I don't want to be with her. And it was okay. Okay. That's why I'm reading this stuff, because it is just stuff I don't know about. As late as the 7th century, an Anglo-Saxon husband could divorce his wife for the most far-flung and far-fetched of reasons. A legal work of this day states that a wife might be repudiated on proof of her being barren, deformed, silly, passionate, luxurious, rude, habitually drunk, gluttonous, very garrulous, quarrelsome, or abusive. Basically, everything that anybody could be, that's crazy. Anthropologists who have studied divorce customs in ancient and modern societies agree on one issue. Historically, divorce involving mutual consent was more widespread in matrilineal tribes, in which the wife was esteemed as the procreative force and the head of the household. That must be what tribe I come from. Did you hear that, Jason? That must be what tribe I come from. Because it says the wife is esteemed as the procreative force and the head of the household.
Okay.
That's me. I'm from this tribe.
You're from what?
I'm from this matrilineal tribe from somewhere over in like Rome or something.
Okay.
I'm an Anglo-Saxon. I don't know. I'm something like that, I guess. Conversely, in a patrilineal culture in which the procreative and sexual rights of a bride were often symbolically transferred to the husband with the payment of so-called bride wealth, divorce strongly favored the wishes and whims of the male. So it was basically up to the guy if he wants to get divorced or not. Like, women had no say. What's new? When do women ever have any say of anything anymore? So, the next one should be interesting. Okay. So, on your back, it says, today, for your myth, your pain is caused by injury, disc degeneration, diseases, infections, and even inherited conditions can make your back hurt. My back is out of place like all the time. And I personally think it is an inherited condition because of my donor. It has back problems and everything basically that she has wrong with her, I have wrong with me. Just technology is a little bit more advanced now, so I don't have to exactly do all the procedures and stuff that she had to do. So that's kind of a positive. Like, I guess, like with my issue that I had with, like, my ovaries and my uterus, that was, like, a 3-year ongoing issue, and I really thought I was going to have surgery. A lot of doctors thought I was going to have surgery, and it ended up being just a big, long infection that carried forever. So, just a little bit of antibiotics, and I was cured, basically. Well, not cured. I mean, I can still get it back because I carry this stuff where this bacteria is now like just lying there waiting. So I have to be very careful about things because we don't want no more infections. Yucky. Okay, this is the book Ginger likes. Of course, we do this one.
And my dog book.
Okay, so it says, the name of this one is Available 24/7. I praise the Lord because he advises me. Even at night, I feel his leading. Psalm 16:7. I do that a lot. I'll lay in bed, like when I can't sleep, and I'll sit there, and I feel like I'm talking to myself, but I don't think I'm really talking to myself. I think I'm talking to something bigger. And maybe I just seem crazy because I am constantly talking. But I think I'm more so talking to the Lord, is what I'm doing. There's no need to let your troubles keep you awake. That is a hard one. Like, I don't really let my troubles keep me awake. I let my mind just run, even on things that, like, you can't tell me something's going to happen because my mind will not shut down. Like, if you tell me something about I'm getting a new car tomorrow, I am not going to sleep tonight. I'm going to keep myself up because I'm going to be too excited. I hated when I was little, if I knew it was the next day was Christmas, I wouldn't sleep all night long. I hated if I knew the next day was like something like my 8th grade graduation, like I didn't sleep the night before. Schoolwork, if I have a final, I won't sleep the night before. It's crazy. And then I'll go on a whim where I won't sleep for like 4 or 5 days because I've gotten into this basically like a routine where especially if a lot of things happen all at once or a lot of stress, I won't sleep for fucking days. And it sucks. And then that's why I take medication for sleep. So I can sleep like a regular person every single night. Even though I look like shit. And sometimes I wake up with a big fat headache because I didn't get enough sleep. But that's okay. Today's just like a little minor one right above my eyebrow right here. So maybe it won't be too bad. Maybe the day won't be too bad. I don't know. I have to go sit in a shop today and listen to a loud racket. Yay. I think I might take the kids' headphones, not to listen to music, but just to look like I'm listening to music, and I'll just read a book. So back to our thing. God provides guidance anytime, day or night. Like I said, I am constantly talking to myself. Basically, I'm kind of talking to myself right now, talking to myself on a video, right? I don't know. That means his wisdom is available 24/7. All you have to do is ask him for it. Got a problem? Go to God. He's got all the answers. Dear Abba, I need your advice. Got a minute? And then it says for the thing today, it says, your activity says, use unscented sheet spray on your bed sheets. Lavender is known to help you relax. Body, mind, soul, and spirit. Sweet dreams. That's good. I think I will change my bed sheets today and spray them with lavender and see if that helps me sleep tonight.
Mine too, 'cause I could go to sleep at night.
So that's what we're going to do with that. Now, on our romantic book,
What are you
today we are supposed to be exercising our creativity. So what that means is we are going to think of something that is original, something that's unique, and we're going to do it for our partner or our spouse. But we don't let them know what it is. So he needs to kick rocks and get away from me. Bye-bye. Why are you spying on me? Okay. Spy on me from afar like a real stalker does.
Go watch Mom's video.
Yeah, go watch my video.
I didn't watch it live.
Oh my god. Anyways, so we're exercising our creativity today. We have got to figure out something to do. So we need to write that down on our... This is my handy dandy notebook, guys. You will see I am a freak on writing things down. I'm a freak on list. That is my deal. I'm a fruitcake when it comes to lists. When I become old and crazy, I am going to have probably 1,000 lists that they're going to find in my house when I die. And it's going to be random stuff that God knows who and even what it was. So what did I say I need to put on my list? Oh,
I forgot.
creative
Oh, yeah.
for romance, right? Okay,
Who are
so
we gonna give these candles to?
them are going to, I can't say on my videos, so
Oh, you can't?
no, I can't say on my videos who I'm giving stuff to for Christmas. Thank you very much. Okay,
Well, tell me when you're
kids. Nice, right? Now, her favorite, the dog book.
Because it has a dog flying on it.
Okay, so the next thing to uplift our spirits today says, okay, this is what a dentist says to a patient. Would you help me out? I'd like you to give a few of your loudest screams. And the patient says, why, doc? I didn't feel a thing. And the dentist says, I know, but there's so many people in the waiting room right now, and I don't want to miss the 5 o'clock football game. So see, sometimes you might be asked to do something by somebody you're not expecting.
That would be awesome.
What would you guys do? Would you give the screams so he could go home and watch the football game?
Yep.
I'd probably give the screams just to get out of the dentist office before he even started. Especially if he's pulling teeth, right? Okay, so. And we are so almost done with this book. I'm so excited. Okay, so we're just doing a summary. We're like recatching up on the chapter that we just read about children. So it says, this concludes the section concerning our children. Surely nothing is more precious to us, which it shouldn't be. Our children should be our most beautifulest, most precious thing that we can find on this earth, right? Because they really are. Here are some of the central ideas that they presented. So we're just going to kind of go down the list here. This is the stuff that we went over. We must make our children a priority now if we want to have a good relationship with them later. Too many people don't invest time when their children are at home, then wonder why the kids don't want to be around them later in life. I believe that is so true. You can sit here all day and say that you are with your kids, taking care of your kids, but if you're not interacting with them, asking about their school, asking about their friends, doing any kind of interaction with them, you are not going to have children when you get older. I know. I didn't interact with Caitlin when she got to be a little bit bigger, but as a child, a baby, a toddler, I was probably too far up her butt, honestly. But as she got bigger, I felt kind of awkward because I was still young too. So it was like this person that wasn't on my mental level, you know what I'm saying? So it was just really weird. I don't suggest having kids young, honestly. Wait till you guys are old enough where you can understand them and you can give that time to them because they really, really super duper need that. Because now I don't have that relationship with her like I do with my two little ones because I didn't take and I didn't involve that time with her. Okay, so next one. Personally, I have never met a father who didn't love his children. Okay, I think everybody loves, let me put quotations around that because everybody's love is different. Everybody loves their children, okay? I think people are not taught properly how to care and express that love to their children like they should be. Yet most men I know are far too consumed with trying to win the rat race. That's true. Most men are because they are usually, it is the guy that is the main provider while the women stay at home and take care of the kids, right? So they do feel a lot of pressure that they have to make the money, which makes when they work extra hours, it makes them tired. And they probably, I know when I worked 3 jobs and went to school and everything, I didn't want to do anything with the kids. I didn't want to do anything at all. I just wanted to stay at home and I just wanted to be at my house where I knew I could relax and just be a big fat blob on my bed if I wanted.
Good night.
And I have met few fathers who have received adequate training for the task. Like I said, some people just aren't. If you've had a bad childhood, more than likely you are not going to raise your kids very properly. With my case, I took and I tried to turn that around. Maybe not so at first because I did not have them. It's one thing I did do. I did leave my kids a lot because I was left a lot. So I think that is one negative. But for the rest of the stuff, I try to do the total opposite of what I was took care of. Like I participate. My kids are involved in things. I participate with them. I don't believe in the spankings. I don't do the whole violent punishment stuff. I don't believe in that. I got beat enough as a kid, and I don't like laying hands on my children. I would rather set them down, talk to them, have them tell me right back to me what I said and why they're getting in trouble. Then I know they listened and I know it got through their head. And I feel like that is more of a way to punish them, because then they're going to have to sit there and think about that. I know when somebody sits there and tells me something, like, even if it's good or bad, like, I'm going to sit there and think about it for a while. So, next one, it says, husbands, let's be frank. We love our children. We want only the best for them, but we have come to believe a devil's lie that what they need is the best schools, the best camps, the best clothing labels their friends are wearing, and that they don't really want to spend time with us. What they actually need more than anything in the world is us. We just said that, right? All of this thing I'm talking on, this thing sitting in front of me, all of this bullshit plastic crap that we call necessities in our lives are not what children really want. Or is it what they need? You are their parent. They need you to not train, I hate that word, remember, to teach and to guide them into being what they should be. That is what children need more than anything. What they're going to remember is not that you bought them a computer that they broke in 1997. They're going to remember the day that you made a cake and slipped and fell and it went everywhere and you guys were laughing. That's what they're going to remember. Okay, next one. The closeness of family life produces friction. We can see that in our house. We have lots of friction. Closeness. We are in a very small space, which makes us a little too close, and we get on each other's nerves extremely bad. So we are constantly, like, kind of bickering at each other, which I hate, and I'm trying to figure out a way to stop that, even with myself, because I think we should be a happy family that I believe, truthfully, that we all go good together. I think we just all have our own little problems and we're not coming together as a family, and communicating is our biggest deal. Communication. If you don't have communication, you're not going to have really anything. If you can't talk about something, you're not going to get any of your problems fixed. With your spouse, with your children, with your friends, with yourself, with anybody, if you don't speak. Okay, the closeness of family life produces friction. We rub each other the wrong way. The job of the adult is to be mature and set the tempo. We are to act our age. I think you can act silly. You can act silly with the kids. Like, I don't think that's a problem. As long as you're going to work and you're taking care of your stuff. You can't be out robbing banks and things like that. But why can't you get in the floor and play around with your kids? Even though you're 50 years old, who cares? You have a little bitty kid. Get down there and enjoy it. Be a kid again yourself. I miss that. I used to do that all the time with Caitlin. We were always wrestling in the floor. I used to do it with the little ones. Not so much now because they're like my size. But sometimes we play around. And plus my back gets out a lot, so I have to watch. But like I said, once in a while we'll kind of wrestle around a little bit until we have to stop because I have to say somebody's going to get hurt. And usually what happens, somebody gets hurt. So, we are to be above the petty outburst of selfish behavior that our children will surely display in the course of growing up. Like I said, they will start copying us. We've seen this from several different angles in my relationship here. We have seen our kids copy the things that we have done, our bad habits, like things that we say, our attitudes, our tones. They copy those things from us, and it's becoming now a hard habit to break because we've done it for so long that we didn't catch it or we just didn't care because we were too wrapped up in our own not grown up stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? We were fighting and arguing, and that's not what grown-ups do. That's not what grown-ups do when they have children. That's just not what grown people do. They're supposed to communicate and talk things out and work out their problems, which shows these children how to work out their problems without violence. Because once you start raising your voice, that sets a tone for somebody else to think, oh, this person is like completely getting on my ass and I'm going to get defensive. So then it kind of starts an argument, and then an argument can turn into a physical fight. And that's not what husband and wives do. That's not what I believe. Whether you believe in God or not, that's not what husbands and wives do. They don't fight like that. They should be able to talk to each other, and they should be able to compromise whether it's something either one of them want to do. They should be able to come to a compromise to benefit the children, not to benefit themselves. We often are too severe. If our son deserves to be sent to his room for 15 minutes, we send him for 30 minutes. That, I can say, does happen a lot in my house. I think sometimes punishments are a little too harsh for certain things, like not hanging up clothes. I think what should happen is, okay, you get an extra chore added to you. If you can't do this chore, then we're going to add a little bit more work, because then that means you're going to have to make sure you get this done to get this done. Why do we do that? It says because we overreact. Because we do. We take our, I think, like people, for instance, like me. I will always use myself as an example on my videos because that's the only person I can use. Myself, I overreact with my children because I get into my own little head and I start thinking about my past and how I was treated. And then I start doing that to my kids, not beating them, but I'll get mad at them for no reason because I'm in my head, and I have to start watching those things because it's not fair to them and it's not teaching them good things at all. It says we overreact, we are not just, we are immature, and we lose control. That's, like I said, that's not a good parent. That's not what we are put here for our children. Them are things that are brought to us by the devil, and that's what he wants us to do, is to treat our children bad, because I honestly think, who's going to be there for you forever? It's going to be your kids. Your kids are going to be the ones that are more than likely going to take care of you when you get older, right? And sometimes I wonder if a lot of these people are not put away in other places because of maybe how they treated their kids, and their kids are just kind of like, oh, well, you didn't take care of me, so I'm not taking care of you. Because I kind of feel like that toward my parents. Even though they gave me the basics, like the shitty ass shit that they could get, I had a roof over my head, that I did, and I did have food. Other than that, I had no emotional, I had no physical, I had no none of that. I had a roof and I had food. So I do not think, I don't even know what I was just talking about. I just lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, treating kids the way you get treated?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't do that to my kids. My kids have got a roof over their head. They've got food. They've got everything they could ever want. They get hugs, kisses from me and their dad. They get told they are loved. I can count on my one hand how many times my donor dad has told me he has loved me and gave me a hug in my lifetime, and I'm almost 40. That's pretty bad. I give my kids probably that many hugs and that many kisses and I love yous in a day, if less. So that's very important, guys. They need to hear that stuff.
And sing to us.
And I sing to them. Yeah. I sing silly songs to them. Okay, so next it says we need to look to the Holy Spirit to give us the fruit of self-control, which is very true. Even though my husband does not think just because I don't go to church, that I am not like a godly person. No, I'm not 100% godly, I am a fuck up just like everybody else in this world, because we wouldn't be sitting here if we weren't. I do pull out my Bible and I do read stuff. I read a devotional every day. I go through 5 to 6 different devotionals as I talk to you guys, and I read this stuff. So I don't go to church all the time. I don't feel like you have to go to church all the time to have God in your life. I feel like you got to have God in your heart. That's where God lives. He doesn't live in a building over on Hillbilly Lane or over on Woodland Hills. He doesn't live there. He lives right here in my heart wherever I go. It says, we can overwhelm our children with sorrows if we do not look after our tempers. That is very true. When I get upset, if I'm having a bad day, it affects my whole household. I hate that. It makes my kids upset. It upsets my spouse. It just creates problems. As vice versa for him. When he's in a bad mood, he causes chaos in our house too. Because everybody picks up on everybody else's, like if the kids are upset, everything. Like if any of us are upset, we just pick up on that stuff. And it's really not good for us. We must control ourselves. Patience is a virtue. Especially so with the young people in our lives. I'm learning, especially since I've been babysitting, a little bit of patience, because you have to be patient with little people. Even my little people you have to be patient with, because they don't know any different, and if we don't teach them, they're not gonna know. Okay, parenting is the task of giving children structure, boundaries, and limits. Yes, I don't care if you are whatever. You are their parent. You are not their friend at all. You are not a friend. If you were a friend, you'd be going to school with them. You gave birth to that child. You are a parent. Set those boundaries. Who cares if they get pissed off? What are they going to do? Tell you no? Send them to the room. Whatever you do, send them to the corner. We send ours to the corner. My 17-year-old still gets sent to the corner. Because that's how she has to be. So, yes, don't let your kids run over you. Give them structure, give them boundaries, and make sure they have limits. It's the business of, see, they actually use the word guide. Guiding, directing, and encouraging. It is the work of supervising and controlling. I don't believe in controlling your children. I don't think they are something that needs to be controlled if you are guiding them right. Why would they need to be controlled? They should be able to be like, this is the right decision to make. That doesn't make sense to me. It is the responsibility to instill values, morals, and ethics. That is what we are working on. That is what we are trying to do with our children, is to instill morals, ethics, and values that are going to, when we pass on, they're still going to have these things. They're going to, hopefully, as they get older, will be doing these things around their friends. They will have good friends because they'll have good morals. They'll have good ethics. They'll have good values. They will know the difference in right and wrong. They're not going to do drugs because morals, ethics, and values tell them what? That's not right. We don't do stuff like that. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. That's wrong. So them are good things. Teach your kids those. In short, it is positive interfering. Yes, you can interfere with your kids' lives. Don't hound your kids. If they don't feel like talking, try to give them some space. I know with my kids, they don't always feel like talking right when we want them to. But if I give them some space, they will eventually come around. They will eventually come to me and they will tell me what the problem is after they're done being upset. They're like me. When I get upset, I don't want to be around anybody. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you to touch me. I just want to go to my bathroom, cry, be mad, do whatever it is that I do until I calm down. And then I'm ready to talk.
Alright, Sunday we work.
Okay, well, I guess I got to cut my video short today, guys. So, hopefully you got something interesting out of that about helping out with your children, because I got to take him to work. Bye-bye.